In this video, we'll be going over the process of updating your myCNC profile and the two main ways that you may do this. The two main ways are either through the Support tab, directly from within the myCNC application, or by downloading the profile manually from the main site, which is pv-automation.com. So before we go any further, profile updates are typically done to obtain things such as new PLC procedures, new macros, and some visual enhancements. And it's important to recognize that profile updates and software updates are two separate actions. So software updates will update the entire myCNC software, while profiles are typically related to your particular technology and will impact things such as PLCs, macros, etc. And another note of interest is that it's not recommended to update your variables if you're updating the profile through the myCNC application, or to overwrite this CNC variables.xml file inside the profile folder if you're performing a manual update. The variables file contains your user settings, which would be reset to a default state should a user overwrite this file. So this is only recommended if a reset is necessary during your initial setup process. Next, let's go over the two main options for updating the myCNC profile. First is the update directly from within the myCNC software, which can be done by going into your settings and then into the Support tab. In this bottom left corner here, you have the Profile Save and Profile Load section. The Profile Save will save the profile to a myCNC server, and a Profile Load is the section that we are currently interested in, which can be done to update your profile. So first of all, select the profile name to load. So in my case, I know that I am on the X1366V profile for tangential knife. Next, input a star into the controller UID input line, as I have done here already. For this, you will then have your factory default profiles. Next, select the components that you would like to update, and this is your screen selection, which is often updated as it will use the latest screen that we've prepared for this particular profile. Then select the macros and PLCs, whether you would like to update them or not, and this is largely up to the operator. If you have done some changes to your macros and PLCs while doing the machine setup, you may want to actually keep your files, and you would not like to update your macros and/or PLCs. However, you may update those if your machine setup is still in progress, or if you need to roll back to your factory settings. Next is the variables, which we actually recommend to not update unless absolutely necessary, since, again, it contains all your machine settings. So those are things like your, for example, pulse per millimeter, your motor output configuration setup, things like your input, output assignments, etc. So the entirety of your CNC settings is stored in this file. And then you'd also like to select the date for the profile that you're loading. So you typically want to select the latest date that's available to you. So after you're done with this profile load section, you can press the Load Profile from myCNC Server button, and a confirmation dialog will appear. You can check that everything has been selected correctly, and then you can confirm the update, which should conclude the profile update, and then after everything is done, you can simply reload the application for the changes to take effect. Another option is a manual profile update, and this is often done in cases where there is no recently updated version of the profile you're looking for on our server. And then you can manually download it from the main pv-automation.com website. So to update the profile manually, you can go to our main website, head over to the download page, and scroll down to the profile section. Then you can select the profile that you would like to update and click Save. So here I know that I would like to update the X1366V profile. Then copy the archive file that you have just downloaded to home/config/myCNC/profiles. If you would like to keep the preferences from your previous profile, do not extract the downloaded archive just yet. Instead, you can go to your old profiles folder and copy the CNC variables XML file over to some other folder, such as your desktop or any other folder where you can temporarily store it during the setup process. Then additionally, if you've done any changes to the hardware or your software PLCs or perhaps your macros, you can go ahead and copy those folders from your old profile folder to, again, your desktop or some temporary folder in a different location. Alternatively, you can also copy the entire old profile folder over to your desktop to have it as a backup in case you would like to roll back after updating. Next, you can extract the folder from the copied archive into your profiles folder by right-clicking the archive and selecting the Extract Here option, or by double-clicking the archive and extracting it by right-clicking on the folder in the window that appears. If you want to add your previous settings from the previous steps, you can replace the CNC variables.xml file in your new profile folder with the one that we have copied to our desktop. And similarly, if you've done any backups of your PLC or macros folder, you can copy that as well. After that, you can relaunch the myCNC application, and the manual profile update should now be complete. I hope this covers it. If you have any questions, you can write to us on our forum, or for any other information, you can visit our documentation at docs.pvautomation.com. Thank you for watching.